Many years ago, I came across a few lines in a book that I connected with. They were, "It's easy to judge, but you never know another person's heart, what gives them strength and what breaks them down." I have learned to listen more and speak less. The result has been eye-opening conversations and inspirational moments that I have shared with you right here. Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is Crystal One-on-One and this is our final show for the year for 2019. It's slightly different because with me at Le Chateau Brasserie Belge today, I have not one person but two people, two ladies actually. So I'm very excited. Welcome to the show. I have Maria Babire Kasirye and her twin sister, identical twin sister. I have Maggie, or Margaret, should I say, Nakato Chisitu.
Yes, that's right.
Ladies, we've been chatting, so you're going to have to catch up with us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Thank you for inviting us.
It's a pleasure to have you both. It's quite amusing to see someone, because I know you, Maggie, a lot more than your sister. And then to see people walk straight up to you and they're talking to you, then they're like, have a moment after of like, hey, wait.
I know.
I mean, growing up as twins, did you ever like switch places?
Not necessarily switch places,
like
but I think like in
other.
school, in school, like I remember there would be times like when you're supposed to do housework, and then maybe you did not do it and you need to run to class, and then the prefect comes like, hey, you're supposed to have done this. I'm like, no, I think it's my sister, you know. I think those are the only times we kind of,
I think for me,
played around.
I think the other challenges sometimes we could have, you know, growing up like at campus, you know, it's the time that you're mixing and mingling with many people, and it's the time when the boys, you know, so
they're paying attention.
you know, so that those times that those ones that come to you and like you're not really interested, but you don't know how to tell them off, and so all you would say is like,
I think you know my sister.
I think you know my sister. So I think sure. So you would talk to her, like you would tell her, you know, there's this person, you know, but when I meet them, I know they'll also smile at you, but
And you don't want to be rude, eh?
you don't want to be rude.
Sometimes
So,
they just be like.
so now they
"Oh, I
get
think you know my
confused. They're
sister."
like, I think I met one person, but I don't know if I'll ever meet the other one that I met, because all the time it is, sorry, I think it's my sister. I think, hi, how are you?
But then also
And-
you're nice to them.
Yes, you
speak
are.
to them a bit.
Oh, bless you. There's some people are like, get away from me. I don't have time.
I don't want to know. I'm not interested.
I think we don't want. I think being rude is not part of us.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
kind of.
I hate to make someone feel bad. They're being nice, you know. So why
Yeah.
do you have to?
Exactly.
Just
It's
make it
only
easy
if
on
they
them.
decide to take it like to the
And
next
it's not-
level
yeah,
and disrespect you.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. But
Yeah.
I think those are the only times. Otherwise,
Yeah. Mostly.
I think we've been comfortable being.
Yeah, we're nice girls.
Yeah, we don't play games.
don't want to play
have
those games
glorious
too much.
crowns on your
Oh,
head of
thank
natural
you.
hair.
Thank you.
Thank you
It's a
so
very big
much.
part of your business, Afros and more.
Oh,
Very
yes, it
successful
is. Yes.
natural hair
Oh,
business here in
thank
Ghana.
you.
You are blessed, ladies. I was asking them, I'm like, okay, how do you do your hair? Because I know the natural hair movement is big right now. I haven't yet joined, but by the way, they did my hairstyle for the record. This is Afros and Mo. Yes, but I mean, did you always have natural hair? Did you ever go through a phase where you treated your hair, for example, relaxed it?
Like,
I always loved to have natural hair. Always, like when I was starting to grow out my hair, I always loved to have natural hair.
Okay.
So when I went to campus, I tried the natural hair thing. I had natural hair like for I think my first year at campus,
Okay.
but I didn't know how to take care of it. I had no idea. My roommates would be like, "But you and the natural, you know, it needs to go." But because I loved it so much, I thought, I'll manage. So I used to go to One Gear.
okay, yeah.
One day there was that Nalongole day who would give you that straight iron to make your hair look like it's actually
relaxed.
relaxed hair. So, but I think I got a lot of heat damage from that. So I had different types of hair. You know, like your hair is not treated, but on top it looks like it's treated, and then you have this growth, and then it just didn't look right. So then that's when I decided to, hot combing, when you used to hot comb. So I had a lot of heat damage. So on top, my hair was so straight. And then down here it was so, you know,
Thick.
and it just didn't look right. I'm like, okay, I've tried it, but it's not working. So I think that's when I relaxed my hair. I think first year ending, I relaxed my hair.
What about
Yeah.
you, Maggie?
Of course, always I was, you know, and like
always
after
follow
her,
me.
like
It's
I think I'm the follower.
So she is older in a way. I mean, because I know she's 5 minutes older.
It's amazing.
So
but
I think I'll be the one first trying out things, and then if it didn't work out,
So because
then
you came out into the world first,
I think
I
so,
don't
so she
know.
follows me. So
yes, so for me, after 6 immediately, I just had to relax my hair because I
Yeah.
could not wait.
So she
And-
learns from my mistakes, like, you know,
Yeah.
whatever I do and didn't work out, so she knows, okay, that's not the way to do it, so let me do it the way she's doing
Yeah.
it now.
And I think it's that way, like, you know, when you relaxed your hair that time, you felt different.
Yeah.
You felt beautiful, like you're in the mirror all the time, trying to change this, trying to change that. So for me, I think I didn't have her history.
Yeah,
Yeah, so when she relaxed, I had to relax.
yeah.
Okay.
Because like what I think we haven't told Crystal is that Maggie always, she followed me like from
P2.
P2. I left her in P2,
Okay.
in primary 2.
Yes.
So she
Yeah.
always came behind me.
Oh, so she was a year behind you. Okay.
Every time, you know, I moved a step
Ahead, yeah.
So she would always maybe learn from things I do first. So I went to campus first.
Okay.
So I tried the natural hair thing first. So she followed me after year. So she knew it didn't work for me. So she knew she could just.
So in many ways, you made it easier for her.
I made it. That's right.
Even like coming
I think
to
she should
coming like
respect me for that.
Oh, I do, like she makes my life so simple. Like the other time I was like thinking, and I'm like, can you imagine, like most of the friends I have, all our friends, because I think we kind of like share friends.
Yes.
I don't think I have so many friends that are single, like made by me. Not so many. I would count 1, 2, but they all come from her connection, like from her channel. And I'm like, oh my God, like all these friends have actually come from her. So it's like I think my conscience just follows on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I'm comfortable. So
Because, you know, like I would go to schools, like if we had to change schools, so I'd go to school first before she joins me. So I make all the friends first. So when she comes, like my
Yeah.
friends become her friends.
Like
you
foundation
know?
Yes.
is already
And then
there.
it's laid.
Yes.
And then also her friends become my friends. So I don't
Yes,
think we
so-
have any friend who's not like either.
no, they
Our
have
friend.
to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does that mean that you're more adventurous? I mean, are you more adventurous, or would you say Maggie is more adventurous?
That's an
I
interesting
think there was a
question.
time I
I
was
think Maggie, you know, different people know us differently. You would find that someone will say Maria is more like, and then you find someone say, Maria is more like the mommy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there was a time when Maggie actually, seriously, she was more adventurous, and I was more like the mom.
Laid
you know,
back.
she loved like outside life, like that outdoor life, nightlife. Me, I prefer being indoors. You know? So those friends who we had that time, who we
Yeah.
still have, of course. I think now they know me as the person who's laid back, who's gentle, and then they know her as that person who's,
You're nicely trying to tell us she was a party animal a bit, eh? A little bit, a little.
Yes.
Yeah,
At a certain
but not
point.
destructive patting.
No, but you
But I
like
think I never
outgoing
liked
and-
being, and I think naturally I just don't like to be boxed in.
Yeah.
I think I was an extrovert. I think I became just an introvert a bit because of the association of marriage. My spouse is an introvert, so at home they knew me like the extrovert one. Like if they say that if people would say that Maria is more, that's you don't know them.
No, okay.
Yeah, but I think after I got
Then
married,
afterwards, I think it kind of
we
flipped.
So when you got married, is that when it flipped?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it kind of toned her down.
Yeah, it
somehow
did.
it changed her a bit. You know?
I think it changed me to the people who knew me.
Yeah.
They felt like they were now with another person,
Yeah.
and they missed the other.
But that's what happens when you get married. I mean, it's a whole new world that you have to navigate. Especially then the babies come, you have to run the home, look after the babies, have a relationship with your husband. It's different.
And I think somebody one time told my husband that I think you should have missed the old Maggie. The old Maggie was more fun, you know. But anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just we flipped,
Yeah.
and also.
But also, like
she-
when you go like back home, like where we grew up from, they would also know us differently. should be like they know her as the one who's like, you know, laid back.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that, like the laid back one.
Like not
And me,
non-approachable, like
not really approachable.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why they get that, but yeah, that's how they know her, like where we grew up from. So they say she's not like approachable, like she's mean.
yeah, you sure?
In a way, like
she was a bit
it's
tough.
like they're saying she's mean.
don't know.
No, she wasn't. Like maybe she wasn't just like maybe going out like me. Like me, I would find, hey, Mama Gundi, hey, how are you? You know, I'd be like happy.
Yeah.
So they think that I'm more kind.
Oh yeah, they would think
They
that.
would say like I'm more kind than she is, but I'd be like, no, I don't think. Maybe you guys haven't given her chance, but yeah.
Yeah.
So it depends on who's looking at us in at different stages of our lives.
Okay.
The one was different.
So we've established that you're 5 minutes older, Maria.
Yeah.
Okay, but older siblings. You mentioned you have an older brother.
Oh no, we're
We're
8
8.
children.
Oh, okay, big family.
Yeah, we are
Yes.
8 children, so we are the 5th in that line.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
But people always get surprised that we do even have siblings. Because you guys, like, you're just too much, like,
Because you're always together. I mean, now business together as well.
have siblings. We're
Yeah,
a
we
big
have
family.
siblings. We have 4 girls and 4 boys.
Okay, 4 girls and 4 boys. Are there a lot of twins in your family?
Yeah, we have quite a number of sets, starting like from our grandfather. Grandfather was a Salongo, so our dad became a Salongo. Then we have a brother who we follow is a Salongo.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll follow being Alongo.
Me too.
Well, they don't have twins just yet, but clearly they wouldn't mind them. But still pray.
Yes.
Yeah.
God is listening.
Yeah, you better
Seriously,
listen.
seriously.
Yeah, seriously, I love twins. I love
No,
twins.
but you know, the kind of twins I think we want, we do not want, would not wish for if they happen. But I think many people would love 2 sexes, like boy, girl. But for us, our prayer is, should we have twins, they ought to be the same sex.
Okay.
Because we've enjoyed the relationship of a same-sex twinship, which is different from different sexes. Yeah, they love each other, but I don't think they
They're not as close, probably.
I
But
don't
you know
think
what?
they
I think
share.
now mine changed
Yes, change.
from need. Yeah, I love to have had, like, if I have twins, like I like to have like the same sex.
Okay.
But because now I have a girl and a boy,
Yeah.
I need each of them to have like a sister.
So now you'd like a girl and a boy.
Now I would like to have a girl and a boy,
I didn't know
just
that.
to fit that purpose.
So now you have 2 and you have 3.
Yes, I have 3. I have 3. So, yeah, if I went for number 4, I wouldn't mind if they are twins.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So is it a girl, boy, girl?
I think boys. Okay, whoever comes, as long as they are one sex.
She's very clear about this.
When her mind changed, anyway, I think we didn't talk
No,
about
yeah,
it.
I don't think something we've talked about. So now you know.
Okay.
I'd love to have like the ones like 2 boys or 2 girls, but now like I feel like, especially my daughter, I feel like every girl needs a sister.
Okay.
So if I had 2 boys who are twins, I feel like I've missed that goal. Like I have of like to have a sister. I feel like boys can survive in the world easily. Like they make friends and friends will become like brothers. Girls, I think every girl needs a sister. So
There's something special about sisters.
I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So where did you grow up? Where were you born and then where did you grow up?
So we were born in Mulago. Though we don't know much of that part because immediately after we were born, maybe I think 2 years, we moved to Masaka.
Oh, okay.
So we lived most of our like life, I guess.
Primary life, primary
Masaka,
time.
like primary, we lived in Masaka, nursery. So we had all that life, you know, back in Masaka.
Okay. So you went to primary school there? Was that all the way or?
No, we went to primary school in Namgongo Girls Boarding Primary School. So
You went boarding school?
yeah, we went boarding school.
Yeah, P1.
Actually, our
6
parents
years.
tried to make sure like we all go to boarding schools.
Very early.
Yeah, very early. P1.
But you had each other, because most people, their memories of boarding school and
No, we had our 2 elder
Terrible,
sisters.
Terrible.
Terrible.
No, our 2 elder sisters were already in,
Were already
in
in boarding
Namgongo,
school,
so
yeah.
they looked after us.
So it was easy. It was easy. So like would like go from Masaka to come to Kampala for school. Like all our schools were in Kampala.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know that the travel, it's not like we had cars or our parents even had a car.
Yeah.
So we'd do like taxis,
Yeah.
buses, kind of
With your mattresses and your cases.
Yeah, I know.
They were quite heavy.
yeah, but you know, yeah, our parents did the best they could.
Yeah, I know they did.
Yeah, so I remember it wasn't very easy going to
Yeah.
school. And also I
Yeah,
did-
but we did have also family friends, our parents' family friends that also, and they were inspired by our dad taking the children to boarding schools, and at that time, the good boarding schools. And so I think they came in handy a lot.
Okay.
So because sometimes they would take us, they would help, and they had lifts anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember we enjoyed those lifts very much.
So would you like go to school on your own? Like your parents trusted you,
Or they would
escort you?
Yeah.
Okay.
and mom
No
always-
way.
especially
Yeah.
daddy. Mommy, I think, would always stay back home, you know, take care of things, but daddy always, with our suitcases, would carry you, go to the park, you know? Yeah, you go to the park, old park,
Yeah.
you find the cars going to Namgongo, you sit, they put your
Yes.
mattresses up on. your mattresses up on.
Yeah,
But you know, looking back at those things, I think that's when you
Yeah.
respect your parents, really, for that struggle, you know. It really counts looking
was.
back that, you know what, maybe it's good to have life a little harder, growing
yeah.
up. So it
I think
teaches
it's
you
good.
things, and you really appreciate the sacrifice, the struggle, like what they had to go through to take
Like
you
I
to
think
school.
one thing our parents taught us, it's not to compromise education, because we saw their sacrifice, and they didn't really have, well, a big family, but they sacrificed and took us to the best schools of that time.
Yeah.
And so for us right now, education, I cannot think about anything else unless we know fees.
Okay.
Catered for, you know,
That's like the priority.
oh my God.
It is, and maybe the quality of education. So we'd never compromise that, because we knew our parents gave us the best, even when they didn't have. And so for our children, I mean, like, so I think we are so grateful for those hard patches we went through, because even at school, our dad would remind us, you have gone to school. Mwete kambagaga, you know, that's what it is. You
Yeah, he
know,
would caution us,
like,
you know, to
remember
know.
where you come from.
Yeah.
Remember where you come from, and you see how we struggle. Please study. And so for us, it was study. We had to really make them happy. That's the least we could do. And
But I think after, like, when we came to P5, then we left Masaka. Then we came to my dad got a plot of land in Machinde, and then they started building. But before that, there was a transition where I went to the village.
oh, he took us to the village.
You took all of you to the village?
Yeah, like
Like in that transition, like from Masaka to Machinde,
Well,
we were still
well,
building the home. So we
Yeah.
had some time in the village.
Yeah.
Those are some memories too.
We had village life.
Who are you staying with in the village?
Our dad.
Our
and
dad
our
still.
mom.
You know, our dad just never like left. Our dad was always
You said that he was very hands-on.
oh yeah.
So he wasn't the typical African father.
No way.
Dad, hands
Yeah,
on. Actually,
yes.
never took us, like, we never had holidays, like, in cousins' homes
No, no,
or grannies. No. And he said that he always wanted to have his children with him.
Yeah.
So we never went anywhere else. He always kept us in
So
his
he
circle.
taught us
Yeah.
some village life, because also he said he led a village life.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
what he,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so,
so we
we
went
would
to the
draw
village.
water. Would draw water from the well.
Yeah.
And you know, his village had to go through like the forest area. It was like a forest. We call it like a forest gump. Like you go through the forest, like a thicket of a forest to get to our village.
Okay.
And so the wells sometimes were in the forest.
Oh, like
Yeah, in the forest, like, you had to
Yeah.
go draw water, like.
So we had to draw water, but sometimes we would bring some boys to help us fill the tank. but at least also he made sure we go to the well and see where the well is, and at least take the 5-liter jerry cans.
It was deep in the forest.
It was a bit scary, but
Yeah,
he
it
said,
was
you know,
scary.
for me this was my life.
That was his life.
The forest.
For many people, that is everyday life. Even, you know, we're saying in the village, but even here in town, you see little children with their little jerry cans, and there are like 5 of them, and they're all going to collect water.
Oh, so I think also it was a good training for
It was
us.
good,
and it
yeah.
was like about a year.
But I loved it there actually.
Yeah,
It was not
peaceful.
the... Because I remember in the village there was no like electricity, so that means there's no TV.
Yeah.
And those are times you go to school and people are watching That's Life Matu, all those things. People are telling stories. You're just looking like, all right.
Yeah, but we would get lots of
Don't
sugar
even know how
cane.
Nakaunde looks like. Don't know. Yeah, but I think we appreciate it. I kind
Yeah.
of enjoyed the
I
simplicity
think village
of
life is interesting because when you're
quality of
hungry,
life,
you go and hit the tree, pick some mangoes.
Yes.
Like
Got
you
sugar
go
cane.
get sugar cane from
Yes.
Jaja's garden and you just eat. So I think it was
fun.
interesting.
Yeah, and you know, like I think as a family, that was the time like we like got to enjoy each other because now we had our evening time.
You have to entertain each other now.
Tell stories from school, then sing songs. I think it was really a good time. I think
It was.
Yeah, it was a good time.
You know, a lot of people are saying, like, in this day and age, that our kids are not experiencing the village life. Are you trying in some way to make sure that you expose them?
I think right now we are talking about like a place we want to grow old from. Like I know our husband separated us, but now we're like, okay,
It's separated.
by the grace of God, if we are aging, we want to age together,
Yeah.
all close together.
So you've bought land together. Is it as siblings, as family?
No, as family, her family, my family. At least now, you know, before, when we had first gotten married, I think our husbands were not very familiar to this relationship of ours, and so you would not even suggest that let's maybe buy one piece of land, split it up and be together. No, I think they wanted a little bit of distance, but now that we have gone through the married life, I think they have come to know us, accept our relationship, and so
They have to respect this relationship.
Yeah. You
I think it's a transition.
I don't know if they were ever ready for it in the beginning.
Embracing the other
Yeah.
too. So I think they have
But-
found that balance.
But right now, I think they're supporting our idea, and
Yeah.
so they're moving with us.
Yeah, but Maggie, do the kids go to the village?
Because your kids are in the US, right? So Maggie, your kids are here.
Why take the kids to the village?
Put you on the spot.
You know, when all the judges are in town, you wonder now where's the village? Okay, because yeah, and I think that's what we want to recreate, like the village life, because our parents now, since much changes, Pelere now we
town.
moved.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's town, and so I think we want to create
That for
the
yourself.
village.
The
Yeah,
village
the village setting. Yeah.
Actually, I think for me, in regard to that, it's not like I take them to the village, but I think we make sure like every summer, like I come with them so they can experience life here, you know. So at least we are trying to see that they connect. At least every summer we try to save for a trip to come home.
It's important. They should know their home, their roots.
They know their home. Sometimes like when we move, I take them to places, show them life, you know, you see how these people live. You know, when you're back there, you're asking for this, crying about this. You say these kids, they're happy, you know? So I love to show them that other side of life when we move. And yeah, I think it's working.
It's very important. So where did you go for secondary school then?
So secondary school, after Namgongo Primary School, we went to college school. But as always, she followed me.
Oh, okay, my great
Yeah.
So no. So I was college school from S1 to S4. So unfortunately, I didn't go back. I would have loved to go back to college school, of course, but yeah, it didn't work out. And then I went to Uganda Matters High School for, I think I was there for like 2 terms, I think.
Just 2 times.
Just 2 terms, yeah. The only reason why I had to leave is because the school was mostly like for boys' schools. It's actually what they call Rubaga boys. You know, there's Rubaga girls and then Rubaga boys.
Yes.
So Rubaga boys, I think, was introducing the idea of having girls in the school.
Oh, okay.
So by the time I joined that school, the girls were very few girls. So they didn't really have a system because we used to stay in like outside school, we used to stay like in a hostel.
Oh.
Yeah, so, and you know, like, I wasn't used to that kind of structure. It was kind of so free for me, like, and I know I wasn't ready for that. Like, if I was scared, I'm like, am I going to read? Because it was kind of freedom,
Okay.
in a way, like, I wasn't used to. And, you know, I was used to this thing, like, you go for prep, and there you go for prep if you want to. I'm saying the girls' side. The boys were very, it was very strict.
Because they were in the school, yeah.
For them, they had the structure that we did not have as girls. And you know, you remember daddy's words, go to school, read. And then you're like, okay, I don't think I'm going to really concentrate here or read, because there wasn't a situation where we had the structure as girls, you know? Like you go for prep at this time and you take it seriously, you know, because I knew now people in college are reading. People in prep, people are reading, and for me, I'm there jazzing, maybe look, you know, listening to music. And it wasn't working.
That's a good thing. Some people would have been very happy with that arrangement.
Yeah, I would have been, but I was scared. I'm like, what if I fail? You know, I was very scared. Actually, for me to be even scared was a good thing.
Yes.
Because after I talked to my parents, I'm like, I told mommy, you know what, mommy, I think I need to change school. So by that time, I remember Mr. Chaze, the one who was the headmaster of college school, had been transferred to Mitala Maria. So I'm like, okay, since Mr. Chaze is going to Mitala Maria, I know he'll kind of introduce, you know, college kind of thing there. So I'm like, okay, mommy, I think let me go there. Maybe it's a better alternative for me. Yeah, so I went to St. Balikudembe, Mitala Maria. My other final term of S5 and my S6.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I followed.
Then first she just followed me.
Always.
She just followed me, like,
Always.
like I have to figure things out for her, and then which is good. It works. It works for us.
So the passion that like you have for hair and beauty, where was it already there back then?
Yes,
I
looking
think-
back, we had it, because right now our
Yes.
friends tell us like, now you chicks, that's the thing you needed to do, because I think growing up, you know, we loved hair stuff,
We
like
loved
back,
hair.
like in school, you know, like
And in-
six there, you start preparing for campus. Now you start growing your hair like third term. So I remember like I'll be the one trying to like plait people's hair, you know, things like that. So I think our friends saw that in us.
But in primary, I remember I used to cut hair. Yeah, like,
Used
you
to
know,
cut kids' hair.
I used to cut the kids' hair. Like they would
Like
give
shaving.
you shave the hair. So they give you a line of P1s, P2s,
Yeah.
P4, P5. So they
For real, Maggie?
Yes.
Okay. And they call them.
No, I think you never attended boarding school, so I
But I'm
think
like, you didn't?
yeah,
she did
perfectly.
it.
Like
Yeah,
like
she was
sometimes
very
I would
good.
come back home, and Daddy would sit outside and say, "Come cut my hair," and you know I would also shave his head. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think it started like that was like around P4 that I really started shaving hair. Okay. And so till P7, I was shaving hair because I would help also my classmates, you know. And, you know, it was perfect. Like, you know, like you shave somebody's hair perfectly.
Like clean everything.
Without like patches and gaps and, you know. Because remember, I would, like, in an afternoon, if P1s have to shave hair or any of those little classes, they would call you and give you a line.
Wow.
So you would deal with lines.
never
I think
to
that's
be
why I'm still.
paid.
I think that's why I'm.
500
No, I think God was like kind of like preparing
planting
for
for
my
later.
lines,
Exactly.
for my lines now.
Shave.
Yeah, but anyway, but kind of like when you leave primary, go to secondary school. It kind of like begins dying, because then in secondary school that's not what you're doing.
Yeah.
But somehow we had the passion for hair.
Yeah,
like when we had the
passion,
ability
like
now to
campus
do
time.
hair
I
again.
think campus time.
I think we visited every salon that was planted in New G for every new hairstyle, and I think all these
like
So every new hairstyle you want
like
to
looking
try.
back,
Yes.
like looking back, our friends would be like, "Man, you chicks, you had this nice hair," you know, and we would like basically ask you where you do your hair from. Like, why didn't you ask us?
yeah,
like,
but we
because,
visited
like,
each
we
salon,
didn't care how expensive that salon.
and I think
would like collect like a little pocket money. There
Yeah.
was there was a specific salon we went to. Actually, it's on Renzori Courts,
Renzori House.
Renzori House. Yeah, Renzori House, and I think that was British Council. There's a salon there, I don't even know the name. But one time we found these girls had very bouncy hair, you know, she was looking good. We stopped them on the street, like, hey, we love your hair, where did it from? So they directed us to that salon.
Yeah.
And that salon, by the time, you know, when you're in school, you're just depending on pocket money.
Yeah.
You know, you're not ready for some kind of expenditure. But because we loved the hair, we loved how that hair looks like, it would save a little money, like our pocket money. We'd rather like drink tea for dinner.
So you could go and do your hair.
Tea and bread or these other things, what they call them, the Rolex, eh? At least save some money to go have our hair like every month. No, I think every 2 months we'd go do a retouch. That salon was the only salon that could do a retouch, and I think that time the retouch was about 70,000 Ugandan shillings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot back then,
But I
but
think we
we'd pay it happily. We'd come out looking good.
But they would do a good job.
Yes, they
Would
do a good
color the
job.
hair, would brush. When brushing came, we brushed.
Yeah.
And I think the hairstylist at a point said, but you twins, you have good hair, but every time you're just disrupting the hair.
Yeah.